Democratic primary voters care deeply about electability. What most want is simple, a candidate who can beat President Donald Trump in November. So they worry about whether former Vice President Joe Biden will inspire young people, and about whether Senator Bernie Sanders will scare away old people. They debate whether a political revolution is necessary to energize the base, or whether the revolution will dissuade independents. Will the historic candidacy of a woman or a gay man take off or implode? But these concerns about policy and broad cultural appeal are secondary to the true electability crisis facing whichever Democrat wins the nomination. He or she will need to run against a president seemingly prepared and empowered to lie and cheat his way to re-election. Factually, Trump's position is rather weak. A stronger candidate would be flying higher, given the economic recovery that began and yielded greater success under President Barack Obama's watch. While Trump remains an untouchable, vengeful god within the Republican Party and is competitive in crucial battleground states, he is relentlessly divisive. He must win back the suburban voters who handed the House of Representatives to Democrats in 2018, an especially difficult task now that he's released an Achilles heel of a budget that would cut Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, food stamps, and a host of other popular programs. But, and this must be said out loud, the facts may not matter. If past is prologue, Trump will say absolutely anything necessary to attract and maintain support, including patent untruths. His pathological lying has been well documented and yet never ceases to stun. By one count, he has told more than 15,000 lies since taking office. A small sampling, after falsely declaring that Hurricane Dorian was headed toward Alabama, he displayed a doctored map to cover his tracks, and his chief of staff made the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration release a statement defending his lie. Trump also recently claimed that he rescued health coverage for people with pre-existing conditions, even though he has gutted the Affordable Care Act and is suing to overturn it. One day after tweeting, "We will not be touching your Social Security or Medicare in fiscal 2021 budget," his budget revealed cuts to both. How can Democrats run against a candidate who will simply deny his unpopular positions and make up non-existent accomplishments? No amount of fact-checking can counter his constant stream of mendacity, which has become white noise in our political culture. Lying, of course, is only one challenge. The Democratic nominee will also have to contend with cheating. After the 2016 election, the journalist Katy Tur offered an applicable analogy. She said that what made covering Trump as a reporter and running against him as a candidate so difficult was the way that scandals stuck, or didn't stick, to him. Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server as Secretary of State was like a stain on her shirt that people couldn't get past, because it was the only mark on an otherwise clean shirt. But Trump had so many stains that you couldn't tell if it was a stained shirt or if it was just supposed to be that way. The many ways Trump pushes the boundaries of what is acceptable political behavior, breaking norms and maybe even laws along the way to get what he wants, are so varied and numerous as to be blinding. Sometimes his cheating is obvious, the equivalent of the kid in math class who leans over and copies your answers to the test. For example, he was impeached for tying aid to Ukraine to that country's investigation of the Biden family, that is, for trying to hurt his then likely rival in the 2020 election. He was nonetheless acquitted by a Senate Republican majority. Vindicated, Trump will only get worse. He and the whole Republican Party seem intent on using the power of government to assist in the president's re-election. Republican senators have already announced that they plan to look into the Biden family's dealings in Ukraine, despite absolutely no evidence that Hunter Biden committed a crime or that the former vice president did anything but carry out U.S. foreign policy. Anyone who thinks these investigations are sincere should note that there is no comparable probe planned into the blatant corruption of sitting President Trump and his children.